Hello, YouTube. This is BUB'S Comics coming at you with the No Faces Comic Chat. We are here. We are live. We are in charge. Let's see. In the chat already, we got Broke Cause of Comics. We have Metarog, of course. We have that old comic smell. I think, what was his name before, Roger?
I don't know. I just subbed to him. I didn't know he had a channel before.
Yes, he had a channel before. He changed his name. I forget what it was before. We've got King of Comicdom Lawrence in the house. We got, let's see, the Comic Collector.
Did you see his
Mr.
tour?
Gretzky's here. And Ben Compton, Heroes to Icons. We've got 18 in the chat already. Bitbiter,
Nice.
01101 or 0101. That's right, because it's a bit, right?
Bit. That's
so
right.
We got Omega Comics and Michael Dodd in the house. Boy, read more comics. Silver Age Dave's here. Hello, geez. Silver Age Dave. Good to have you all. And Broke Cause of Comics is already asking DS ? Exclamation point, question mark, and all that good stuff. So
it's tragic, guys. It's really tragic.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So just real quick, I'll just say what happened. Did you already say what happened?
No. I just said it was tragic. That's all.
It is tragic. So here's what happened to DS, everybody. As you all know, DS is very frugal. He covets his comic money tightly. So this fella, he's prone to not buying new pants. Okay. He doesn't buy new pants. So all that is just wasted comic money, as you know. He said it many times. Hasn't he said it many times, Roger?
Many times.
Yes, he said it many times.
Yeah.
He also is broke because of comics, and he just won't buy new pants. He refuses. That's another great book he can buy. So what happened is he frequently walks around town pantsless, and he was discovered by a modeling agency. Well, long story short, he is the new underwear model for Duluth Trading Company. They were very excited to have him on board, but unfortunately, those duties took him away from us tonight. And then in a cruel twist of fate, Roger, an absolute just grabbed by the Duluth Trading Company more ballroom of life. He fell ill due to an errant breeze in his Batcave. So because of that breeze,
did you say Batcave or back cave?
No, Batcave. Breeze in the Batcave.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. So now he's fallen slightly ill. We hope him a speedy recovery. He was unable to join us tonight due to this modeling injury.
It's amazing how life can sometimes throw you those curveballs, and this is something. I mean, unless he's on his deathbed, he would be here. So that tells you the severity of that drafts are nothing to sneeze at. No pun intended. So, but we will soldier on, DS. I mean, you're in my prayers, buddy. I know you'll. This is something that you will surmount. You're a man of measure, of logic, and I know that you will do whatever it takes to get back on the saddle again. So we have you in our prayers and our thoughts tonight.
Yes, and he also wanted us to mention that if you yourself are getting back in that saddle, be sure to buy a pair of more ballroom Duluth Trading Company underwear. This message brought to you by DS Comics.
I didn't know we were doing promos. I didn't know about that.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to cut the man short on his money. He needs to get
You're a true friend, man. You're a true friend, taking up the mantle of the ad for him here. That's tight now. That's bro stuff right there.
I do what I can, and then I just do a little bit more because that's the kind of guy I am. So what we're doing tonight, we'll get right to the topic. We'll jump straight in. 2 feet, 1 head, 2 hands, all parts on deck. Keep your hands and arms inside the vehicle at all times during motion. And we're going to go ahead and jump right into the topic. First of all, what was our team name tonight? I know you won't let me down, Roger. You're at least going to be as good as the other guy who didn't show up. What do you think? What's our team name?
The Cursed Comic. I started with a C. Cursed Comic Compendium.
No. But close.
Okay.
It's the Cursed Comic Cavalcade. I know you.
Oh, shoot. That's right.
You can sit in the back of the class and you can doodle all day, but we still know you're at the top.
I have my dunce cap on right now. If you could see me, you know.
Hey, we got Immortal Biggie Shack in the house. We got the
Biggie.
Simeon. We got Discovery Bay. Hey, JB, what's just shaking? We got Man from Beantown, Gene Paulus Peter, otherwise known as G Pap. Good to have you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Area 51, Mike's in the house. Werewolf by Lunchtime. Conquistadorks. Let's see. I think we got just about everybody now. Thank you all for being with us. We're rolling right into this fine topic. We're going to do this. I know a lot of us are missing the old team, Chuck and Lawrence, the Go-To Geeks. We're going to do this in kind of an homage style to the Go-To Geeks. Gone but not forgotten on one of them their hiatus. But they probably will return. In the meantime, we got Lawrence running his solo show, which we're enjoying as well. Put out a great room tour, didn't he?
Room tour. Oh, man, that was tough to watch, bub. Tough to watch.
Yeah, one for the ages. You know, I put him. I think there is a league cadre of collected-alls.
Mm-hmm.
And I put him in that group. I put Silver Age Dave in that group.
Yep.
I put Alan Garrett in that group.
Yep.
And I put Lawrence in that group.
Yep.
I don't know if there's a fourth, honestly.
The only other person which is, it's not really part of this community, but I think they're called Lee Ditko.
Yes.
Dick Comics, you know.
Yes.
But they're not really. Yeah.
The only reason why, and I don't discount his collection, which is obviously enormous and fantastic.
Yeah,
but
amazing.
To me, this group is not just comic collectors, but also all manner of nostalgia, childhood paraphernalia, anything and everything collectible of that era, aimed at children. Basically, at that time, they collect and keep and don't really sell off for anything. You know?
Yeah, you're right. Some people are putting Captain Strangelove. That's another guy.
Oh yeah. Yes, I agree.
Although his room is I don't want to say disorganized. It's tough to. It's so full that it's hard to get a grip about what he has in there. But the stuff he's pulled out over the years, you know, he's got amazing stuff in there. So
yes, I agree.
But King of Comicdom, he's in the chat. If you guys have not seen that video, sub him up and watch that video. The only thing is, I warn you, if you have low self-esteem, you may want to take your medication prior to it, because that won't help. Let's just put it that way.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
My prior screen name was Jeff Eunice. Old Comic Smell says. Oh, yes, Jeff I recall Eunice. That. I recall that he changed his name. I like the new name. I think it's a great one.
Yeah, I like that. I subbed him up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Silver had a great. You had a great entry, by the way, Roger. I don't know if I got a chance to comment on your video.
Which one?
Of the one how to defeat the Avengers.
Oh yeah, the anti-Avengers. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was fantastic.
Thank you.
Also, Silver Age Dave had a great impromptu morning video this morning, talking about some good old-fashioned coloring books he had there and other type collectibles, not necessarily comic collectibles, but definitely in the vein. Great stuff. We got Mac Daddy Austin 109. Hello and welcome.
Cool.
A lot of great people in the chat tonight. And of course, if none of you are aware or familiar, there have been some fantastic auctions going on all week long, all in the name of charity. I don't know that there is one tonight. I don't think we're going up against one. Usually they've been starting later than this. But if you have a chance to check out any of those, most of them, I believe, are being held on the Comic Core channel. To help an unfortunate little girl, actually a daughter of a great and revered member of the community. So definitely check that out when you get a chance. And
Moira.
Yes, Moira. Absolutely.
Yeah. I sent some money to the GoFundMe page. I don't have a lot of patience to sit through those long auctions. So I just figured I'd just cut to the chase and just send her a donation. And of course, she's been in my prayers since I found out about it.
I'm holding out. I got to tell you, to be honest, I'm holding out because there's going to be auctions all week.
Right.
And I'm really hoping that I can not only donate, but score some awesome stuff because people are putting up some great stuff for sale. And really everyone has been bidding generously, I think. And I look forward to doing that too. So, and I've bid and I just can't win anything.
Right. Well, that's good in a sense. That's good.
Yeah,
I know that Comic Books NYC bought a bunch of stuff the other day.
Oh yeah.
So he's been supporting, but this community is
fantastic.
Comic
Man Andy turned into Comic Boy Andy last night. He shaved his beard off on camera. It was hilarious.
No kidding.
Yeah, I think it was $250 people put together.
Wow, I'll shave my head for that, but no.
For all we know, it's already done.
There's only 3 follicles left on there, so so believe me, I'll get like 2 bits, But all right, let's get going because I got a lot of comics to show.
I'm gonna apologize for this first one.
All right.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a go-to geek style old-fashioned show-off video.
All right.
So we are going to be going kind of one at a time, just dropping a book, saying what it is, maybe giving a 1 sentence why we like it, and then moving on to the next book. And we'll do that till about the top of the hour. So hope you guys enjoy this. This is going to be us just throwing a bunch of horror comics or horror-themed comics at you and giving our reasons why we love them. And we'll start it off. So I'm going to put us in the split screen view. Whoa!
Yikes, all right. Look at that.
Hopefully that'll catch everything. Well, first off, let me put it there. My first setup here is a couple of classic Dave Stevens covers. We got Elvira here. We got Seduction of the Innocent there. So 2 great Dave Stevens covers. And, of course, I got my rarely seen Werewolf by Night figure here. That's a Marvel Legends figure for all you figure collectors out there. You never see this one because it came in a 5-pack was the only way you could find it with the rest of the monster universe there. So very cool. And, of course, Wolvie hanging out in the chair. He's rarely impressed. So,
oh, man.
So I apologize for this first one. So here's what happened. I was going through my collection, getting all these books ready, and I stopped at V because I ran out of time. We had to start the chat. So basically, and then I'm going to go work backwards, and I don't want to take them out of order because it'll just take them that much longer to put them back up, right? So this first one's a little bit more risque than I normally would have started with, but that's about the only warning you'll get from here on out. And I may have to put my finger in front of a few of these. You're welcome. You don't have to put the kids to get to bed, but you might overt just a little for this first one. First off, we have Vamp Blade number 5.
Yikes.
With a great werewolf cover. And that's actually Vamp Blade's, that's her weapon. So she's not like in bondage or anything like that. She has chains that are hooked to her in various places that she whips around. Kind of like a type chain action,
Yeah, there's some very strategic placement of that chain, by the way.
Well, you want them to be fortified. You want them to, right. You got to always worry about that. This one's done by Andrew Mangum, a great cover artist, one of my favorites, but he only knows how to draw one woman's face. So it's always that. Every now and then there's a mole. This one's got 2 earrings in her lip or something, but other than that, he only knows how to draw one woman's face, and there she is. So,
well, that's one more than I can draw. So, good for him.
All right. All right.
So, I don't have shall we say, the salacious type of covers that you do, Bub. That's not not stuff that I have in my collection. But I do have a complete set of Marvel previews. So, here we have a Bob Larkin Satana, a seductress, right? A succubus. So as we all know, those will, drain you, shall we say? And it has looks like some kind of demon head back there. And of course, you see the man. It looks like he's having a bad day based on the facial desiccation and the blood dripping down his shirt. So there you go, people. Enjoy.
Very nice. Up next, we got Vengeance of Vampirella number 6, classic Adam Hughes cover. I don't have a lot of Vampirella, but this is my favorite of all those, just because it's an Adam Hughes cover, and I think it's kind of cool. And I like how he did her face, and then the second face, and then another little kind of succubus down in the corner. So good stuff there.
Well, that is nice, actually. Very nice. That's a lot of cleavage showing, but very nice. Speaking of cleavage, I have a Marvel Preview number 12 with an Earl Norem cover. Let me see if I can get this a little closer, Bub. And
there you go.
If I can get this a little centered and up a little bit. Is that better? Yeah. With the very, very attractive but deadly Lilith, daughter of Dracula, and that vampire bat in the foreground coming right at you. I mean, and then you have that little, kind of gothic castle in the background. Really cool textured cover here. So there you go, folks. Enjoy.
Very nice. This is a rarely seen book, The Twilight Zone. I think it's number 1. I forget, but I think it's number 1. Yeah, Spectacular Premiere Issue. So Twilight Zone number 1. That's a Neil Adams cover, folks. You don't see that very often shown off as Neil Adams, newsstand edition. I hope he's watching somewhere, because that book never gets any love. But it's pretty freaky and pretty scary, and kind of a rough customer there, chasing this poor guy down the alley. And a comic book adaptation, of course, of the classic television show. That's it.
I don't remember seeing monsters in that one, but okay, that's fine and dandy. Well, let's go to any arachnophobes out there. Here is I had a little encounter with a Black Widow a couple of days ago, which I put on Instagram. This is actually a Mike Zeck cover for Charlton. This is the modern reprint. Imagine if that thing was crawling into your cabana. Talk about horror. I mean, you would be you would be running for the insect spray, or actually you'd just be running away.
Wow. I like it. I mean, I don't want it chasing me, but it's pretty cool. I've got Twisted Tales number 2. This is those PC comics, and that's a Bernie Wrightson cover there.
Very nice.
And this one, honestly, is the most disturbing to me comic in my collection. So now DS, I know he's got some far more disturbing comics than this, but that's the most disturbing comic in my collection, with the heads around the guy's belt, where he's chopped them all off, and he's got a nice, fresh, wet axe, and he's going after 2 more people. That's pretty rough. So there you go. Twisted Tales number 2.
That's a lot of that's a lot of innuendo for sure. Speaking of disturbing covers, I mean, imagine the compromising situation that this young lady has put in here with these ghouls dragging her through a sewer to, I'm sure, some nefarious fate. I believe this is a Tom Sutton cover. I don't know if Charlton 66 is in here, but this is look at I like the almost reverse isometric perspective, and the horror on the face of the lady. Let's see if I can get a close up. Look at the eyes there.
Oh wow, yeah.
That she's looking down and hope that what she sees is not what she portends.
Yeah, she is freaked out.
She is freaked out. Yep.
Wow, great stuff. Next, just so happened, a double shot of Bernie Wrightson. We got my favorite cover from Tomb of Dracula, number 43. And it's got Dracula reaching out of the grave to grab this woman. And it's just another rarely seen, underappreciated horror cover by Bernie Wrightson. Most people probably didn't even know he did a cover for Tomb of Dracula. But there it is.
I have that, and that is a beautiful cover. I love those gothic covers. I have the House of Secret parts. Those are just one of those subgenres that just really speak to me. Speaking of Dracula, here's one of his nemesis, Van Helsing and so forth. But here is Blade protecting 2 nubile ladies back against the wall, literally. Against these two very menacing looking, I'm assuming, vampiric gentlemen. I believe this is this yes, it's a Grey Morrow cover here.
Oh wow.
Yeah. he does these horror cover. I have a few more to show. A really good detail on the two vampires here in the foreground, and of course Blade there with his two stakes, hoping that they're enough to protect those two young ladies.
I really like that Nosferatu type on the right.
Yeah,
really
that's a very good observation. Look at the ear there. That's what kind of gives it away right there.
Yes, and the bald head and the big eyebrows. I mean, that's a dead giveaway.
Yeah, that seems to be his inspiration there. You're right.
Yeah, very nice. Here's one that actually scared me as a kid. So one of normally you wouldn't consider it a horror movie, and certainly not after the second movie and beyond. But the first Terminator movie scared the crap out of me. And I'll tell you why. Okay, Terminator scared me because of all the monsters. To me, it was a monster movie, and I know it's an action movie and all that, but to me, it was always a monster movie, and it scared the crap out of me because it was plausible to me. Because I don't remember how old I was, probably 5 or 6 or so when this movie came out, and I just remember thinking this is totally possible. Like, I may not know it, but I could be the leader of the resistance. This could be, all the other stuff that happens, it happens to other people, but I could be the leader. I could be John Connor. Something could happen to me, and the Terminator could be coming for me right now. So, so this seemed so real to me. And there's no, other than the science fiction aspect, there's really no other kind of monster or magic or anything else that happens. And they mask it all as science fiction, which of course is science fiction of tomorrow, or science fiction of today is science fact of tomorrow. So it scared the crap out of me. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I like that X-ray targeting banner on the bottom too. That sort of like tells you that he has you in his sights. There's no escape.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm going more classical, old school monster. Here is a planetary monster. The significance of this issue is that a very rare 30-cent variant. Weird Wonder Tales number 15. It took me a long time to get this puppy.
Wow.
But imagine if you are, an astronaut, you're going on a spacewalk to, repair a loose, screw or something. And the gravitational pull of the planet is that giant maw eating you alive. Now, how he can talk in space, I guess he's talking inside his helmet because his oxygen cord is cut. So he's doomed regardless. This is a no-win situation.
Wow. That is rough, man. I always hate that scene in the movie or the book where it's like insurmountable odds, and you're just like, "There's nothing. You're
no
dead.
way. No
Whoever's
way
in the middle is dead."
Yeah.
Just wait for the scream.
Yep.
Next, I got Atlas Comics Tales of Evil #1, and I just always love werewolf. You'll notice a theme in a lot of my books. So it says, "John, what happened?" And then, so there you go. You're welcome, everybody. John is dead. And I love the expression on the werewolf's face, like,
yeah,
"Hey, are you John? I think she's looking for you. Hey, John." I think it's great.
Do you know who did that cover?
Huh?
Do you know who did that cover?
Yeah. It's Stan Lee's brother, Larry Lieber.
Larry Lieber.
That's a Larry Lieber cover.
Let me tell you, that is a very nicely laid out cover. Very nicely laid out. I like it. Yeah.
It's well done, isn't it?
Well, Atlas, since you're talking about Atlas Comics, let's go to Fright, featuring Son of Dracula. Look at the evil, the sanguine look in that face right there. I mean, this comic scared me as a kid. I had this this is one of what I call shoebox comics, the ones that scared the dickens out of me. I put it on a shoebox in the office room, not in my room. And then here you have, that's obviously some kind of allegory, because over here you have the classic vampire going for the jugular on the lady's neck right there. Again, these Atlas comics, let me tell you, they used to be everywhere. You couldn't give these away. Now all of a sudden there's just talk of some show or something, and now everybody wants like $20 for them. So get them if you find them cheap.
I remember passing up a bunch of them. When I was first taking my wife to hunting places, she wanted to help me hunt, right? Give her something to do while she was there. She was like, well, tell me what to look for. And I would tell her, well, any of the at that time, I was looking for a lot of pre-Marvel books. I was like, if you see anything that says Atlas on it, comes across here, it says Atlas, I definitely want that, and I'll decide price after that. But just pull any of those. So she's going through and she kept pulling out. You mean this? It says that. I was like, no, I don't want that crap. That's a dollar binge forever. I was like, I can't believe they had the nerve to ask $2 for that book. Put that back. And then later we went back and I was like, all right, honey, here's what we're looking for. Atlas books. She was like, oh, we already know they don't have any of those. I'm like, no, I want the ones with the banner on them. I was like, what? Like, yes, times have changed. Come on, honey, change with them.
And thanks to Stay Puff here in the chat. This is a Frank Thorne cover, and I was not sure. So thank you, Stay Puff. For
nice.
That's another Floridian there. I mean, the Floridians are everywhere. I tell you. I think he's a Floridian. I think.
Well, every time the weather gets cold somewhere up north, it makes another Floridian.
Yeah, it's going to be high in the 50s this weekend, Bub. So get ready.
Here is Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Supernatural Thrillers, number 4. You guys know I'm a sucker for change covers, and this one is fantastic. At last, the serum is ready. Now I must. Now there's no more Henry Jekyll. There is only Mr. Hyde. Oh, it's fantastic. I love it. Crashing everything up. I love those early Supernatural Thrillers, man. They're great books.
You should do the record for that one, Bub, because that was very well done, sir. Very well done. Very well done. Excellent. Excellent.
I'll get you a record reprint of that book too, and then it'll be worth nothing.
Yeah. Okay, well, since we're talking about Supernatural Thrillers, let's go to another semi-classic monster, the Living Mummy. Of course, he was entombed for thousands of years. How he is living, I don't know. But this has, one of those. This is one of those yellow covers. Bub, I'm a sucker for those yellow covers. You know that.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Oh man, I love those background in yellow. They bring out the foreground so well. At least to my eyes, that almost any yellow background cover, I'll buy it on the spot. I mean, obviously cheap. And notice he's like, did you know Egyptians knew karate? Because he is. He is doing a nice chop to that pillar, and it is exploding. And notice he's not moving a bunch. There's no reaction to that action.
It's hilarious.
So it is supernatural and physics also. And he's of course using that, holding that young lady as a hostage, I'm assuming. And of course you have the constable in the background looking totally useless. But anyway, I just really do like this cover. And this isn't his first appearance, but then I believe in 7, he starts actually the series in which he starred here in Supernatural Thrillers. But this
Roger, I was once a first responder for a brief period. I had taken all the classes and done all the rescue training and breathing apparatus and all that good stuff. And I can tell you that is an improper victim carry method. It is completely improper. Do not carry someone that way out of a burning or crumbling anything. So there you go. That's your PSA.
I will make note of that, Bub. Although the person that I can hold in my right hand would have to be probably under 10 years old, because there's no way I'm strong enough to hold a young lady there. So
fair enough. We're going to keep it going with the Supernatural Thrillers here. Number 6, my favorite cover in the run, The Headless Horseman Rides Again. And if ever there was a 9/8 candidate, I tell you, this is the kind of book you send it. It's so flat and it's so perfect. And I've never pressed it. I bought it this way. Wow. And this is the kind of book that you send in and you're mad it doesn't get a 10. Like, that's how clean it is. But look at him taking off his own head and throwing it down on fire. Great skull cover. Just phenomenal. I absolutely love it. It says he haunts the Midnight Hills today. Well, the Midnight Hills, he haunts them today. All right. Well, they're not all winners, folks, but the art can't be beat.
Yeah. Hey, Boy17, how you doing, Matt? This is I love this cover too. I mean, it sort of harkens back to the Sleepy Hollow legend, and also has some kind of a little bit of Ghost Rider thrown in there for for good measure. So that's one of my favorites. Good story in there too, by the way. But boy, 9/8. Man, I think mine is maybe a 7. So you got me on that one, bud. All right. Well, speaking of heads, well, in a sense, jack-o'-lanterns, and these three, I don't know what these misanthropes are. I don't know if they're reanimated scarecrows or stitched together patchwork men, but they are creepy as all get out. And they're just bringing these jack-o'-lanterns and putting them by this. I'm not sure if this is a pyre or something, but it looks to me like they're not up to, that this is not a trick-or-treater paradise here. They're up to something which is somewhat malevolent. But look at this guy here with the two hair or straws coming out of his head there.
Oh, gross.
I mean, that is like, it creeps me out big time.
Maybe they're like flesh masks or something, skin masks.
Maybe
covering up like some kind of. Oh, that's terrible.
It looks like sutures or something there, right? But I read inside. I don't think that the story is in there, but
maybe they're just unsatisfied customers from the hair club for men.
Well, no wonder that they're using jack-o'-lanterns then, because they got to mask themselves. Because I tell you, my brother got ripped off with that one. So.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Is that a Toth cover?
Yeah.
What's his name? Alex Toth? Is it Alex
Toth? Yeah, I do not know. They did not say. Maybe somebody in the chat can look it up.
All right.
It's House of Secrets.
We don't know. 130.
House of Secrets 139.
All right. Somebody get on that.
Somebody get on that.
The EC Bowling League, Area 51 Mike says.
EC Bowling League. That's a good one, Mike. That's a good one. That is a good one.
All right. We're going to have to reset the doohickey whatnot here and roll into some Spider-Woman. Number 32 with a great werewolf and Spider-Woman cover. But look at all the great Universal monsters here. Yeah. I don't know how they got away with this, but I mean that's official right there.
They might have had the license for those.
Cheney, Karloff, Lugosi. I don't know who that one is. I assume it's Igor, but I don't know who played.
Yeah, Igor. Yeah.
Look at that! Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Werewolf by Night. He's a real monster. Look at that.
And I like how they made them in black and white, because that was period. And it's almost, I'm not sure if they took that as a picture and they double screened it, but that is a nice little effect. I do have the complete run of Spider-Woman, and I always thought that cover was really cool.
Oh, they're saying it's the Bernie Wrightson cover that you had up there, Raj.
Really? Oh.
Yep. Everyone agrees.
Wow.
Quasimodo.
Now that I see it, I do see Wrightson
right?
there.
Wasn't Quasimodo a hunchback?
Quasimodo, yeah, hunchback from Frankenstein,
Notre Dame,
right? No, Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's right. So it's not Igor. Okay.
Nope,
I thought it was Igor from Frankenstein.
No Amy Grant on there.
No Amy Grant. No, let's not get into that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Let's not get into that.
Good to get busted that way.
Well, this is not a Universal monster, but but I believe this is a story of Sherlock Holmes, a classic English detective, and Watson there. And I'm assuming this is a Jack the Ripper adaptation. I haven't read this in so many years. But those hands.
That's horrific.
I mean, I don't know who his manicurist is or his esthetician, but he needs a new one, because that is some really dry skin, and those nails are, shall we say, less than acceptable. And look at the woman's face, trying to see back to see who that is accosting her. Anyway, I just thought that was really cool. This is I believe this is a. Well, I don't know who that. I can't read that signature, I'm afraid. I can't read that signature there. I don't know if you can make that out. I'm sorry, I can't make it out.
That's all right.
Maybe Dick Ayers, but I don't. That doesn't really look like Dick Ayers to me. So, go ahead. We won't slow it down for that.
All right. we'll keep it rolling. We got Spider-Woman, another Spider-Woman, number 6. I usually show my Whitman variant of this one, but I figure I'd go with the newsstand. Carson's out there watching. And it's Spider-Woman. It's just a great, some people call that bondage or whatever, but I just think it looks great no matter what. Because she's tied up, the werewolf's about to eat her. It's like those, it's like when you get like a turkey and it's still got the strings on it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, so the little bands. Yeah.
String ready to be eaten. So that's good stuff. I love it.
What's the cover price? It's on that one.
35 cents.
35 cents. I think they were all newsstand at that point, Bob, I'm afraid. But anyway,
well, then it's still accurate.
It's still accurate, true. It's just not the complete truth, but yeah.
Nothing like that wet water.
Yeah. Right. Well, let's go previous to the UPC Morbius. This is a really good series, by the way, Bub. I don't know if you have these. Gil Kane cover here, I do believe, and this is where he started his own series. You know, obviously he was the villain for Spider-Man for a while, and then it really delved into the character and how really tortured he is, how conflicted he is about who he is and how he came to be. But look, this is actually probably a 5th story or so cover, and you see the spotlight that the police. This is one of those 70s crime drama scenes right here.
Oh yeah,
you know, holding the lady, dangling her over that parapet there, with the police down there. I don't see any kind of trampoline to catch her, and just one of those very dramatic covers. Not so much horror, but if you're that lady and you have passed out, that's a pretty horrible situation for her.
Absolutely. Plus, it could be cold on that ledge. I don't think she was wearing any stockings.
Yeah, it looks like a mini skirt. So yeah.
Next, we got Seduction of the Innocent, 1 of 3. And this, of course, I couldn't pass it up for the title alone. When you talk about Seduction of the Innocent, of course, the Dr. Wortham book. This is just a bunch of skulls. It's the most skulls I have on one cover. I think they had number 4 or so. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 skulls on one cover, not counting the one that's about to be a skull in the middle. So that's all I really have to say about that one.
The old skull technique, huh? Well, let's go to some classic Ditko here. Haunted number 4 from Charlton Comics, and it's the title is interesting. You can tell this is Ditko. The fragments of the glass and the way they merge into the lettering, driven to destruction. And, Bub, notice that there's a lady apparition in the back, and I'm assuming that's him in the car trying to get away, and he didn't.
Yeah, I don't think he made it.
And there's another, some kind of another supernatural being there. I don't know if, I don't remember what the story's about, but that being is also there. I don't know if he's helping him or hurting him. But look at the eyes there. Look at the one that's behind the glass, and then the one that has yet to go through the glass, and his panic trying to look behind him while his face is going forward through the windshield. Just again, Ditko awesomeness. Just really Ditko awesomeness there, and the way his layouts were something else.
And he wasn't afraid to go ugly either.
No,
he put ugly stuff up there and really make it look poetic.
Yeah, no. Yep.
You all know I'm a Wrightson fan, so it should come as no surprise that they're going to be peppered in throughout this collection. Mind you, this is all alphabetical, working my way down to the numbers. So this is Seduction of the Innocent 3D with a nice Bernie Wrightson cover. Now, this is another one that I find just flat out disturbing.
Wow.
This guy has been chained by the neck, or he's been tied by the neck with a string to a boulder, and someone threw the boulder into the swamp or the lake, and he's going down. So this is an underwater scene, and he's headed down to the bottom. Look at the air, the last bit of air leaving, and his eyes just stone fixed. There's nothing he can do. He's in shock. It's all over but the crying, but no one sees your tears underwater.
Wow, that I have to admit, that would give me nightmares right there. Living in Florida all the years that I did, there a lot of people would drive into canals and would get stuck in the muck and drown, and that was always a fear over there. So that to me, that's a beautifully conceived cover. Again, that sort of reverse isometric look, really neat there, Bub. Really neat. I want to get that one. That's neat.
I love it. And it's 3D on the inside with a pair of glasses. You can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong with 3D. You know that, Bub.
You know, you were talking about where you grew. I grew up not too far from Flushing Meadows in Queens. I didn't grow up in Queens, but I was close to Flushing Meadows, Queens. And that's what they always said about Flushing Meadows, is that's where the mob dumped all the bodies, because it always stunk over there like a corpse, like a rotting corpse in Flushing Meadows, Queens.
There might be something to that. Something to that.
Very well could be.
Well, speaking of classic corpses and so forth, this is a really busy but really awesome Gray Moro cover here. You have what looks to me like the personification of death over here on the right, and then you have all manner of villainy. Wow. Look at that skull with
that skull is fantastic.
Look at that serpent coming out of the right eyeball.
Oh my goodness!
And some other kind of imp coming out of the left eyeball, and then you have a Frankenstein perhaps allegory there.
Absolutely.
And you have another like hunchback there, a devil, and a succubus right back there, and plus a ghost in there thrown for good measure.
That is amazing.
Yeah, this is a Gray Moro in this series, Chilling Adventures in Sorcery, and in the other title, Madhouse. Just fabulous covers. The Gray Moro just is so underrated as a cover artist. Great colors on this too, Bub. Fabulous color strike. Look at that logo. I love that logo too. It's fire with little receding flames coming out of it.
I tell you, anyway. That skull in the bottom and that ketchup and mustard, you can't go wrong with that.
You got it. Red and yellow, man. And that little orange thrown in. I mean, this. Look, there's a castle back there. I wasn't allowed to buy this as a kid because it didn't pass the parent test. But as soon as I came of age and I figured it was okay for me to have this. Love this little series, Chilling Adventure of Sorcery, Madhouse. I'm going to show a few more later.
Absolutely. This is we'll lighten it up a little bit after that horror fest with a nice, calm Sabrina the Teenage Witch #1, another Adam Hughes cover. Got the black cat hanging on for dear life, and she's riding that stick, I guess, to the moon. I don't know. It looks like she's left Greendale behind. So there you go, Sabrina the Teenage Witch #1.
That's Adam Hughes.
Yeah.
Wow. That's not horrible, but that is, to me, that is really pretty, and I love the again that view where you can tell that she has this altitude, and then you have like all that the landscape in the background. Really lovely. I'm not the hugest Adam Hughes fan, but that is a nice one. I have to admit, that is a good one.
I like that one. Go for it, Roger.
All right, another lovely lady, but perhaps more of a femme fatale here. Countess von Blood. She was the host of Scary Tales, and a redhead, Bub, with a whip and a sash, with legs that will not quit. This is your kind of lady, Bub.
I tell you, Roger, there's two things I'll never do twice, and that's die and date a redhead.
Well, it's dangerous, Bub, but it's sometimes worth the risk. But let me just tell you, look at the tentacles coming. Okay, this is a no-win situation. You're on this little drawbridge, right? And you got tentacles coming from behind, and you have these demonic-looking roaches or some kind of very good. By the way, Joe Staten cover. He did E-Man, but his horror stuff was actually really pretty good. Look at the 3D effect there with the cross. You see below it and above it.
Yeah.
But I really like the design of Countess von Blood with the whip and the flapping hair. Notice how it looks like one piece of hair almost.
Yes,
almost like a carpet. Yeah. Really, really neat stuff that I just adore this Scary Tales run.
I like that. Unruly Simeon saying the Proto Brood I agree with that.
Yeah, very well done. Proto Brood. Yeah, nice. Yeah,
we got Moon Knight number 29. And it could go on and on with the Werewolf by Nights and the Moon Knight. So I'm trying to keep it. I didn't pull all of them. You could show the whole run of either of those.
Yeah, we both have it. So
it's Bill Sienkiewicz cover.
Yeah.
That horrible, and talk about the negative space used on that. It's just frightening. Just really, really scary. So there you go. Moon Knight number 29 with Werewolf by Night coming at you.
Yeah, that when you think about the design there of that coming out of the shadows behind you, and all you're seeing is white teeth, yellow eyes, and dripping blood. Let's just say your bowels would be releasing right about at that point.
Oh yeah. Blood's not the only thing splattering right now.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, let's on a little bit of a curveball here. Publisher that not too many people think about when you talk about comics is Skywald. They of course had all those great magazines, Hellrider, Nightmare, all that stuff. But by the way, Michael Dodd, if you go sub him up and go see his videos for the past few weeks, because he has shown Monster Mags every day.
Yes.
Okay. And again, if you have low self-esteem, take your drugs previously, because I had so many of those that I sold to buy textbooks and so forth. But anyway, I don't think he showed this one though. And this is, it's the Heap, right? That creature that I believe he also was in Nightmare, but an air boy in the Golden Age. But it's this guy here, the Sith. They call him the Sinister Sith, and he has that Sith there. And look at that face. Oh, a face not even a mother would love. Look at that.
That thing has no mother. You kidding me?
Ya.
Pure evil.
Yeah, and of course, Bub, you have the fairly helpless young lady here, and a fairly, shall we say?
They got lazy on the shoes. They got a little lazy on the shoes. I don't know. I don't care for those little sandal back strap on the heel. That got a little lazy, I think.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Good point there. But anyway, I really this character here, the Sith. That's what I really like. This cover is this.
Oh
character. Yeah, it's really kind of creepy and kind of eerie. I know. Other publications, but still, it fits.
Oh yeah, love it. This is kind of an odd one you never see. So here is Lara Croft Tomb Raider versus the Wolfmen, and this is part of Monster Wars number 2 of 4. And so you have a rather voluptuously drawn Tomb Raider. You usually don't see her that healthy, but notice how thick she is. You never see that. That's a heap and helping of Laura there, and you've got. I think it's got Witchblade, and I forget the other girl's name, Darkness maybe. And look at that wolf right down at the bottom.
Oh,
that's horrific. The eyes glowing. Yeah. I mean, that's rough. So of course the rest of it's pretty easy on the eyes.
Yeah.
Man, it gets some scary parts there.
Yeah, that wolf down there. You're right. That is, jeez.
Yeah, that's looking right through you.
That's tough to take. Yeah. Wow. That's good. I mean, you're right. That Lara Croft, she's supposed to be more athletic than voluptuous, but anyway,
that's
cover artists, they'll do anything to sell books. You know what I mean? So,
well, it worked on me.
Obviously, based on what I've seen of your collection, it has certainly worked. Here's another of those Red Circle Gray Morrow covers, and this harkens back to that Supernatural Thrillers that you showed previously.
Oh, yeah.
Except again, this time he's looking in this crystal ball, and you're not sure what that is, but based on the manicure, I'd say that is not a human being.
No, not anymore.
And he's watching. He's a creeper. He's watching this disembodied skeleton with the head in his hands, and of course the demonic horse there. Look at the eyes.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
And look at the protruding teeth. Another really great and a little creepy house that's been either either aged out or has been under some fire at some point.
Well, I would say that that's the remains of a church, as the graveyard's behind it, and you can see from the architecture is probably a church cathedral.
Yeah, so nothing good happened here, essentially.
No.
Yeah. So anyway,
evil had struck.
That's right. Another really great Gray Morrow cover. Again, all the covers are really good. These two that I've shown are especially good, but really creepy little cover here.
All right, next we got The Monster of Frankenstein, #1. It's alive! Heaven help me! It's alive! This is the most famous, most fearsome monster of all, and the scariest corner of a book you've ever seen in your life. This book, I did not buy this book. I found this book at a con, and it was in such horrific condition that of all the books I was picking up, I put it back down, and it was the only book I didn't take out of the stack. And the dealer said, well, what's wrong with that book? And I said, man, what's right with that book? I said, I like it. I've never had one, but man, that book is beat to crap. He's like, yeah, but you're going to leave it behind? And he was like, I was like, well, how much you want for it? He said, man, give me $1 for it. And I said, honestly, I think I could do better with my $1. It was like the third booth I'd been at. I was like, I think I can do better with my $1. If it's still here at 5 o'clock, I'll come see you. He's like, I'll just take it. So I did.
Nice. Yeah, I got one too. Nice Plug cover, right? I mean, coming out. But the one I wanted to show is the next one, actually, and that is #2. I don't know if you have this one. But again, right, ketchup and mustard. We talked about this previously.
Yeah.
Sort of reverse here. The red is in the background, and the yellow is what's pouring the fruit in the foreground. But I like the Pieta pose here. Very classic.
Oh yeah.
With yellow bandages. So I'm assuming that's his bride. I haven't read. Yeah, Bride of the Monster right there. Oh, hello. I haven't read this in quite a while. And then you have, of course, Castle Frankenstein in the back, and the sun, I'm assuming, going down. Just, look at the face there. It looks more of concern to me.
Yes, I agree.
Else. Yeah.
Love and worry.
Love and worry. Yeah. I mean, that's a patchwork wife. But love is love. It's doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the body is. It's the souls that love, right? So
I got no problem with a patchwork wife as long as I get to pick the patches.
How did I know you were going to say that, Bub?
I'm just saying, he loved her. Look, no matter what she looks like under those bandages, she looks better than him. He's marrying up. There's no.
That's true. That's a good point. Okay. Anyway, I just really like the yellow bandages and the red background and the setting sun. So yeah,
that's beautiful. I like it a lot. And next we have, it's a classic. It's just, what can you say about this one? It's the Legion of Monsters #28, or Marvel Premiere #28, introducing the first comic appearance of the Legion of Monsters.
Very nice.
And this is
very nice.
Of a single issue story. This is my favorite single issue story that I've ever read. Just a fantastic story. Got a great meaning to it. I'm not going to give any of it away, but if you've never read this story, you owe it to yourself to read it. It's a short read. It's a fast read. It's all very frantic and frenetic, but it is a great, great, great book. And you owe it to yourself to read this book, especially if you're familiar with the characters.
Isn't there Robin's art in there, though?
Who?
Isn't there Robin's art in there?
If you say so. I didn't think Batman worked on this title, but it could have been.
Oh.
You talking about Frank Robbins?
Yeah. Isn't he the interior artist?
I don't remember.
I'm trying to remember if that was the one I'm thinking about. He did some Ghost Riders too, but the ending's kind of funky, don't you think? I mean,
I like it.
You like it? Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's to me what brought it all together.
Okay, all right. That's different strokes for different folks. Well, speaking of Legion of Monsters, let's go to the Marvel preview version of them. Actually, that's the Legion of Monsters itself doesn't really appear together, but really nice Ken Barr cover here. Again, we have a very highly textured Morbius coming through that. I'm assuming this is a crypt, right? And of course, you have Blade ready to spring with those.
I love that Blade.
Look at those goggles and that, and look at that. Look at that face. Look at the determination on the gritting teeth there. You can see his bandolier with all the different throwing knives, and of course you have the proverbial bait right there.
Yes.
So that Morbius can have a midnight snack. Really nice cover. Really, I don't know if on camera this is coming out, but this is highly textured, very, very deep colors. Muted but very deep. So anyway,
beautiful painted cover. I love it.
Yeah, very, very nice.
And we'll throw up another softball for you. Here's King Kong, another classic monster with a great Dave Stevens cover. King Kong, number 1 of 6, but the only one with a Stevens cover, presented by Monster Comics. And that is just some amazing. I think the way that he captured the original kind of animatronic mask look of the King Kong in the original movie is just absolutely perfect. It really looks mechanical. It really looks fake, and it still looks terrifying. I love it.
Oh man,
you know what I mean?
Wow, I remember when you got that cover and you got the recreation with your wife.
Oh yeah.
That was cool. I have to admit, that was cool. But Stevens, man, he's so good. I mean, man,
the most
what a loss.
Supple and sensual lines in comic history is his inking lines.
Yeah, but his drawings are just so crystal clear, and the way that the facial expressions, they're also tight. Just work beautiful. It's sort of like you're hearing like this orchestra, and Dave Stevens is the orchestral equivalent in art. It's so pleasing. There's nothing you can say or there's nothing you can criticize. It's all so perfectly done. What a loss to the art community.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. It died way too young. Okay, well, another one of those covers where there's really no good option.
Oh yeah.
Giant Size Chillers #1. Now this is not the same. This is not the same as the Giant Size Chillers with Lilith, which I have here somewhere. I'll show in a minute. But here you have, what the heck is this, Bug? It's a octopus man or man octopus, whatever it is.
It reminds me of a Planet Comics that I have where it's similar. It's like a animal head face, but basically it is an octopus.
Right. And look what she's saying here. Now, clarity in the moment of panic, right? There's no place to run. The monsters are everywhere because, of course, waiting behind that, I'm assuming that pylon there is some kind of ghoul, vampire,
Absolutely.
werewolf, Mr. Hyde, all of the above.
Yeah.
Of course. But he's he speaks English. Closer, come just one step closer. He's like he wants to make sure this guy doesn't get her before he does. So anyway, who does this cover? Romita, maybe? I'm not sure who does this cover.
I'm really Simeon thinks it's Ringo Starr. Hanging out in an octopus's garden in the shade.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard he's done some things to change his persona and time. So yeah, that makes sense.
Funny. This one's a modern. I always feel bad because I feel like you guys kind of lean on me for some more modern books. You and DS don't collect a lot of moderns, so every now and then I want to throw one up to show people that yes, we as in the royal we do collect some moderns. So here's the Immortal Hulk #1. Great homage cover to what is the Hulk cover that copies?
I think it's is it King Size #1?
No, that's the one where he's getting crushed down.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't see that too well.
There's one where he's coming out of the grave. Hulk's coming out of the graves. I think it might be one of the tales of 105 Unruly Simeon said.
Oh, okay. I don't have that one. That's why I don't know.
And also, I think Web of Spider-Man did an homage to it as well for the black suit costume. He's coming out of the grave there. So there's a lot of homages to that original Hulk. But I think Alex Ross does some of his best work, if not his best work, on this cover right here. So
yeah, that is cool. That is cool. I have a few of those Hulk ones that I got in AOKs and so forth. So I've been enjoying them actually.
yeah.
All right. Well, not exactly stepping out of the grave, but in a coffin and in a bayou is this very, very, I believe, Michael Dodd, if he's in here, I believe this is a Jack Sparling cover, which is amazing to me because I really do not like Jack Sparling. But notice the only color that's vivid is the lining of that coffin.
Oh yeah.
And this is a she, by the way.
It's an unnatural light.
A very unnatural light. You have the moonlight in the back, and you have a vulture on her shoulder, and you have a black cat. I'm talking about talk about bad portents, right? I mean, you have a coffin, you have obviously a ghoulish figure, a vulture, and a black cat in a swamp. This is just every kind of element that you could possibly think of. Really good story, by the way. This is, but Jack Sparling cover, very, very nice. It's actually a tortured soul looking for some of her possessions that were stolen from her, and she was killed for, and so she lurks in the swamp looking for those possessions. So anyway, I just picked this up actually in my LCS during the Comic Fest, Oktoberfest, whatever it is. And $1. So can't go wrong with that. And good shape too, by the way. Nothing wrong with this at all. So
I thought you were gonna put that up there a second. I thought you were going to sing at us for a minute, and I heard it in my head. I heard in a coffin in a bayou lived a miner 49. And I was like, oh my God, he's going for it, everybody. And
wow, you're right. that didn't even occur to me. Bub, you got me on that one.
I love it.
You got it.
Hey, I'm going to put up another comic, but it's the top of the hour, and I don't want to, leave anybody out. So we have to do our Why No Faces segment.
Oh, yes.
Unfortunately, we're doing it without DS here, which is quite a shame. However, I do want it said that he would be here if he could be here. But he explains it very well. He basically calls this pause, right? So it's a drug called pause. And you don't know what you're going to look like until you have been affected by pause. Everybody takes pause and see what happens. So basically what this is we freeze frame some more of that royal we. We freeze frame a video from one of our willing or sometimes slightly unwilling participants, and we show it up and we say, look, this is what happens when you get paused at the most inopportune time. And this week's contributor is none other than Broke Cuz of Comics. He just, I don't know why, but he volunteered himself. So here's what we have, Broke Cuz of Comics on pause. I went with a 3 for here because to me, this represents the 3 guys at the bar that you're going to meet. You go to the bar, you sit up to the bar, and these 3 guys can talk to you. It's hammered, more hammered, and hey, I don't mind that I'm hammered. We got these 3.
Oh, man.
There you go. We appreciate Broke Cuz of Comics volunteering. If you want to be on the next segment of the Why No Faces, this is why we don't show our faces, people, because we're afraid that someone will do this with our image. So if you're not afraid of that and you show your Broke Cuz of Comics, that's you.
That's you.
If you're not afraid of what we'll do with you, go ahead and try us. Some people are easier than others. Some people are more stone-faced, and some people are real rubbery. But let us know. Put your comments in the live chat. Put your comments down below if you're watching on replay. And let us know that you would like to be part of this segment. I think I only have one other person that's been on there.
Bad Dad, I think, said he's game.
He's a Bad Dad, yes. Okay, yep. Bad Dad was down in there, and I think Comic Books NYC said he was on it.
That's right.
Look, the boy who had 7. Oh, I'm going to get a nice shot of his hair whipping in front of me.
Bring it. Oh, that's going to be good. It's going
Yeah,
to be
man.
good.
Oh, that's bad. Poor him. We'll get a
Oh,
few good ones with
Matt,
him. I noticed one
I'll pray
item
for you, brother.
the other. So
Hey, I have to give you props here because this looks like a conjoined triplet. I mean, it is so well done. I mean, this is so appropriate for horror day, right? Because
it's a Hydra.
yeah. I mean, one head comes off, another, just pops right back on. No problems here. Love it, love it.
Good stuff. And we got that old comic smell says he's game. Boy who had sevens in. So this is going to be fun. So thank you all. That's our
Make a note of that. Make a note of that.
Yep, for being a good sport. Thanks so much. We'll continue on with the fun and show our a few more books, and then we'll probably call it a night. Now, I've still got 20, 30 books, Roger. You want to do this again next week so DS can get in on it?
Yeah, sure. We can do that.
All right. So
yeah.
Don't
absolutely.
put all your books up. You can put up the ones you've already shown, but we'll keep the rest for next week. But I'll show a few more.
Okay.
Changing my name to look at this. I'm changing my name to Three Guys in the Bar. See, that works because you're probably also broke because of comics. Three guys in the bar who are broke because of comics.
Okay, you may be broke because of comics. You don't want to get in debt because you're going to the bar. So let's keep it at that level, all right?
Yes. Roger won't send anybody to the bar.
No, I try to stay away from those places if possible.
Very well. And next, I saw some more writing. You can't get away from them. You got to feel the burn, as they say. Here is my favorite Bernie Wrightson strict horror cover as far as a book that is just awesome. So well composed is House of Mystery, number 221, with that carousel of doom. Look at that. I love it.
I tell you, I tell you, the carnival food will kill you, and that's indicative right there. I mean,
I tell you, I've had some sketchy corn dogs in my life. I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean those elephant ears have honestly, I've thought I was going into glory a few times after attending that Santa's Enchanted Forest over there in Miami-Dade. So so I can feel you. I can feel you. Well, I got one that I just wanted to show because it's somewhat unique cover here for Tomb of Dracula. It looks like he's like casting a spell or conjuring this fire lion here. I don't remember the story that well. I haven't read this in 30 some years, but I believe this is a Klaus Johnson inks, looks like to me. Very heavy inks. He has a very distinctive shading over the faces.
Oh, that's good.
Very dark, but I like that the outline of that lion on the moon there. I don't think I've ever seen a cover like this before. I don't remember it, but look at Dracula there and that pose, almost like Doctor Strange or something. Like he would be conjuring something.
Definitely.
Yeah. So it's maybe not super scary, but you figure he's protecting that girl there from something. So anyway, I just thought that was a little bit of an unusual cover.
I like that a lot. Here's a Joe Kubert cover with the Mummy House of Mystery. Kubert.
Oh, Kubert. Oh.
Kubert. House of Mystery 286. And it says, "That's odd. I could have sworn I heard someone moving in here." And then boom. And she's like, woo, woo, woo. Isn't that great?
That is fabulous. That is
one
fabulous.
Of my favorite things about this cover is that he has her gagged by his own bandages.
Bandages, yeah.
He doesn't even have his hand over her mouth. He's just like wrapped a couple of bandages.
And my gosh.
Isn't that great? I love it.
I like the posh accent that you had there for the gentleman. Yeah, curators of museums can be somewhat uppity. So that was a great accent. Yeah, but that is cool. Yeah, House of Mystery. I tell you, we used to like find those in the dollar. Like you wouldn't know. House of Mystery, you don't collect that. There's no superheroes in there. And now it's like you can't find them.
Yeah.
But when I was kids, those things were like when we were trading in the schoolyard. If you got stuck with House of Mystery, you're like, you lost, didn't you?
You got to pick last.
You got to pick last, didn't you? Yeah. But nowadays, I wish I had now all those that I foolishly gave away. All right. Maybe the last one for me, Bub.
Sure.
This is for you.
Oh.
Another Gray Morrow cover. Okay. Again, the Red Circle, the most underrated horror comic there is out there in the Bronze Age. Nobody knows about it. Fabulous covers and good interior art. There's Bruce Jones in there. I mean, all kinds of good artists in there. But anyway, Demon's Kiss. And as Gray Man's in here, notice the book, the red one there. That is the Necronomicon itself.
Oh, wow.
All right. And then you have this young lady with topless, but of course covered by those nice blonde locks. And you have the most evil-looking demon I have ever seen, licking his chops, waiting to get at her. Look at that.
Wow. Absolutely.
Look at the wingspan on this sucker. Look at that thing. Goes the full length of the cover almost. And the hand about to come down. Look at the logo, though. Look at the logo. It's like a 3D effect, and it's actually made out of little homes, little houses, little stone structures.
Oh, yeah, that's neat.
Look at that.
I like that.
Man, they were just so creative back there, Even the little logo, is kind of cool. It has a little, let's see if I can focus here. Well, I can't see it, but it has it's like a bunch of little monsters and demon faces and all that in there. So cool. So creative back then, I tell you. It's amazing.
Well, I hate that this will be my last book because it's not the one I would have chosen. But Ghost Whisperer, #1.
Oh, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Very hard to find Jennifer Love Hewitt in a nightie. I don't know if she's calling to the ghost or she's whispering to the ghost, but she's got to get a little closer than that to whisper to the ghost. So there she is. She's whispering from behind the drapes, whispering to the ghost in all her Jennifer Love Hewittness.
Hewittness. Now I didn't know her last name was an adverb. That's interesting.
It is now.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Get your Hewittness on.
Get your Hewittness on. Is she doing anything? I haven't heard of her since the 90s.
I think she even has a new show out, which is probably going to last at least 2.5 seasons. I think she's in some sort of 911 emergency show. I don't know what channel it's on. I don't really. I'm not as much a lover of the craft as I am a lover of the craft. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. Double entendres with you are really not that. They're just bub entendres. But yeah, she was quite popular with young men back in the day. I remember, but I don't know that anymore. Yeah. Oh, Read More Comics. Hi, I don't think I've seen him here before or her. Read More Comics. Thank you.
It's a great name.
I'm subbing everybody I don't know up in the chat, and I suggest everybody do the same because we don't know what hidden treasures are in here.
Oh yeah, we got Jackson Roy Kirk.
Jackson Roy Kirk. Yeah,
got that. Unruly Simeon's still here. Gray Man was in. We said hello to him. The old comic smell brokers of comics. Mr. Unknown Comics guy. Let's see who else we had that kind of came in newer. I think everyone's been sticking around pretty much all program long. Thank you all for joining us, being a part of the discussion tonight. Sorry we didn't have DS Comics with us, but because we miss him so much, I've still got at least this many to go and then some of some great horror comics. If you all will join us again next week, I know that you won't want to miss DS Comics. We never do this. We never postpone a topic. We usually just roll on with it. But this really was a topic that he was excited about. Yes. And if it were not for that unfortunate underwear accident, he'd be with us right now. But he will be back again next week as we believe he will be feeling better. So when he comes in, join us again next week for some more horror covers. Even if you're still in the Halloween hangover mood, just come on in Monday and we'll finish up these batches. What do you say, Roger? You got some more to show next week?
Oh, I got well over 100 more, so no problems.
Fantastic.
But let me apologize first that, we haven't really been able to get into the chat much tonight because we've been pulling books and we've been analyzing them and describing them. So we haven't been very active in the chat, but you guys know that you're all the superstars. You make this show. We are just, we're not even dressing because you can't even see us. So we're not even window dressing. We're nothing without you. So thank you so much for coming and showing us. Oh, Library of Comics is in here also. Chad, how you doing, buddy?
So Roger, you got anything coming up?
Not much. I hope to put a video out tomorrow. I'm something about comparing modern variants with old time variants. But other than that, I don't think I have too much. I got the roundup on Thursday, and I'll probably do a contest entry in the weekend. So same.
That sounds like a lot of fun either way. I've got I think just Wednesday. I think Comigory's got moved to Wednesday.
Oh.
And we're going to do a Halloween special on that. So, I don't run that. I just show up and try to win it. And really, it's not all my books, really, that I have more books than anybody or anything like that. I just have a killer filing system. And so, and it's all literally, I'm like an octopus over here, working. It's all at my reach. So it just makes it seem kind of easy to be able to get. And I have a small collection, relatively. Exactly. That's right, Roger.
There he is.
I've got 1,000. I've got under 3,000 books. So that's only, that's a small, tight collection. So I can get to it easily and pull what I need to. So Comigory's on Wednesday night. I think it's 8 o'clock Eastern, if I'm not mistaken. So
I'll definitely catch it.
And we're going to be all dressed up on that one. So everyone's going to be all, nice. I don't know how many people he can put on there or how it's going to work. I think it's going to be pandemonium.
Appropriate word, since that means that there's going to be a lot of demons around, right? Pandemonium, isn't that what the Latin means, right? Yeah.
That's exactly what it means, Roger. I was going to say that, but I didn't think anybody would have got it. So
sorry.
Thank you, Roger.
I'm sorry I didn't know, Bub. I apologize for my interruption.
I'm glad someone else. I have a compadre out there in YouTube land. Yeah. So everybody check that out, and then we'll be back next week. And I'll try and have a haul video maybe Friday, but I haven't been buying a lot of books because I've been saving up and sending some books out to get slabbed and stuff like that. So, but I will. But I am going to a convention Saturday. So I'll probably have another bigger haul video come out next week, whether I can afford it or not. So, thank you all for joining us.
Oh, next week I'm going to be in Atlanta, so I don't know if I'm going to be making the chat. If I can, I'll bring some books and I'll show them there. My wife has a convention, so I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay, but Dios will be here regardless if I'm not here, so you'll show books.
We'll get it worked out. If you can join us, though, of course, we'd love to have you. So,
yeah. I'll try.
I want to thank Broke Because of Comics for being our Why No Faces segment participant today. And next week we'll cycle through those who have thrown their hat in the ring, and we'll make them awful sorry they did. So anyway, this is BUB'S Comics signing off. Go ahead, Roger. You say your lovely goodbye.
All right, guys. I can't thank you enough for being here. I mean, we had like a bunch of people in here at one time. Again, the horror stuff is not really my forte, but I do like the ideal behind them, right? That, we have to face our fears, and that kind of gives us some kind of perspective in life. So I know I'm getting chatty again. Everybody be blessed and be back. Bye.
Thank you, Roger. And I'll tell you all when you get done watching this video and videos like it, go read a comic, and remember, don't apologize for the glare. Catch you next time on the No Faces. Bye-bye.